Okay, so I just watched Saaho. I need some time to process this. I'll go home and I'll give you a review. Okay, I just got back home from watching Saaho. It was a 30-minute car ride from the theater to my house. I am still trying to figure out what the hell I just watched. Saaho, nonetheless, was an incredible film. Hats off to Sujeeth and the entire team for pulling off such an ambitious film, but there are a lot of flaws, and that's what I'm here to point out. There's a clear story. If you really dig deep, there is a clear story, but it was very poorly executed. The entire budget was spent on VFX, set design, and marketing. Marketing, I don't know, it took UV Productions 3 years just to release a poster, so I feel like the entire budget was VFX and production design. There are a lot of characters with their own specific character arcs, but none of them made proper sense in terms of understanding the film. The first half was very hard to follow. The story was all over the place. Logically, it takes at least 15 to 30 minutes for the director to create the world that we're watching, but it wasn't until the intermission where I could even start to understand what the hell this film was on about. All things considered, it was good to see Prabhas on the screen after a very long time, but his character was completely pretentious. He acted as if he knew everything, which makes sense if you watch the film. The way he flirted with Shraddha Kapoor's character was, for a lack of better words, creepy. It was very off-putting. Shraddha's acting was subpar. I feel like Sujeeth could have done a better job casting the lead female role, but I know exactly why he did that. This film is a Hindi film. I understand why he cast Shraddha Kapoor as the lead role, and in order for Sujeeth to pull off a pan-India bilingual film, he had to cast Shraddha Kapoor and Jackie Shroff in order to break into that market, and that's totally understandable, but I think it's completely questionable. Jackie Shroff's character made absolutely no sense. Neil, whatever that guy's name is, his character made absolutely no sense. Also, Murali Sharma's role made absolutely no sense. Regardless, he is a fantastic actor, but his talent was completely squashed due to poor storyline and screenplay. It's obvious that this film was supposed to be in Hindi. Some of the dialogues didn't match in the Telugu version. They decided to add some Hindi scenes. Some of the actors weren't even Telugu, which was extremely annoying and a little off-putting. Sitting in the audience and watching this film with the lips not even matching to the dialogues that they're saying, it was really uneasy to sit at the theater and truly enjoy the film for what it was. This also includes the songs. The songs were clearly meant to be for a Hindi film. There were so many unnecessary scenes with specific characters, which I feel like the film could have just done without. It added nothing to the film. In reverse, it added a lot of confusion. The love story between Prabhas and Shraddha Kapoor made no sense. Okay, the songs just started out of nowhere. There was no starting point. There was no reason for a song to be in there. It just started out of nowhere. It just made no sense. As a song, I think the film would have done a lot better if there was no songs at all. It was a big waste of time. Maddie, as expected, did a fantastic job as cinematographer. It was visually beautiful to watch, but I feel like due to the high amounts of VFX and graphics, his beauty was not reciprocated properly. They added too much visual effects, and at times it was a little too much. Half the film looked very, very fake. Prabhas's character was very hard to follow. There was no specific reason for him to do what he was doing in the film. It added a lot of confusion. Look, all in all, this was supposed to be India's biggest film for 2019. Sujeeth tried to reach for the stars, but I feel like he got lost along the way. He said in a release event or in an interview that he spent most of his budget on the climax scene. Unfortunately, he did not give us a reason to stay until then. Saaho. This film was confusing, mesmerizing, at times off-putting, a very hard to follow, visually captivating film. I think Sujeeth should be proud of what he did. Nowhere has Telugu industry done a film like this before, but there's so much wrong with the film. At the same time, there are a lot of things that are great with the film, but the negatives outweigh the positives, and unfortunately, that is why I'm going to rate this film. And honestly, I feel bad saying this, but this film doesn't deserve more than 3 out of 10. Now I'm gonna rate each element individually, so story, screenplay, acting, editing, cinematography, production design, and direction. Story, 4 out of 10. It was hard to follow, it was very confusing. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And to be very honest with you, I left in the last 15 minutes because I couldn't sit there and take what was going on in that film. Screenplay, 4 out of 10. The shots were beautiful, but they didn't add any value to the overall film. Acting, 5 out of 10. As I said, Prabhas was very creepy. Shraddha Kapoor could have done a lot better. Jackie Shroff, you know he's a good actor, but I don't think he put in his 100% for this performance. And the other characters, as I said, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention because it wasn't captivating for me. Editing, 8 out of 10. It's hard to pull off editing, especially with a highly visual film. Cinematography, Maddie killed it regardless. I've been a huge fan of his work in the past, and I believe the visual effects elements which added on to his cinematography kind of ruined it a little bit. But either way, I'm gonna give him 9 out of 10. He killed it. Production design, 9 out of 10. That was a very huge challenge, and as a filmmaker, I know exactly how hard it is for something to look like something else, especially if you're creating an entirely new city. Production design needs to be top-notch, and this film killed it, which is why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Now direction. Sujeeth, although this is his second film, he was very ambitious, maybe concerningly too much ambitious, but I think he could have done a better job. And I'm disappointed to say that the film wasn't as good as I expected it to be, as I hoped it would be. I set my expectations really high, and I ended up leaving early through the film, which is why I'm giving Sujeeth, for his direction, a 3 out of 10. This is also the reason why I'm giving the overall film rating a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry if I have offended anyone. This is just my honest review. This is what I thought the film was. Other people may have loved it. Other people may have hated it more than I'd have. But hey, that's the industry. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, peace out.